What's up to Lion Talk Live? We love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew. This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
All right, well, greetings and salutations, everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining me here today at Lions Talk Live. It is a Sunday. It is the first Sunday or weekend, I guess you could say, that the Lions haven't played since the bye week, I guess. Well, I guess you got the playoff bye week and then way early in the season on week 5 bye week. Yes, we're all going through withdrawals. We're all missing the team. But you know what? That doesn't mean we can't start turning our attention towards the next thing up for the Detroit Lions, and that will be free agency. What we're going to do today, got a list of several free agents, and we're just going to play a little bit of a game show here. Do you say yay or nay in the comments section? We'll bring a guy up in the comments section, and you let everybody else know your thoughts on that particular person. Should we keep him? Should we go after him? Should we keep him? All the above. So have a little fun with it. It is a Sunday. Usually Sundays, especially if it's not a game day, are a little bit slower. People like to sleep in, so I figured, let's do something a little different today and have some fun. All right, real quick, before we get to that fun, before we get to the 5 headlines now and everything else in between, just a gentle reminder, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We're like 32 subs away from hitting 13,000. So if you're one of the 32 people out on planet Earth who haven't yet subscribed, hey, go ahead and do so. If you want to get your mom, your dad, everybody in between to do it, hey, I would be surely thankful. Also, if you have half a second of time while watching this content, either live or in the future, delayed or whatever, go ahead and reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, that share button, that like button, whatever you want to call it. It all helps the channel out a lot. We try to get every video between 200, 300, 400 or more thumbs up or likes. So if you can help, that would be most welcomed. Last but never least, if you are somebody considering to make a real estate purchase or sale, maybe want to sell your house in the immediate future or upcoming future, go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text. I've been a realtor in the real estate game since the early 1990s. So yes, over 30 years. You can reach me at the number on your screen, 269-998-2384. We can have a conversation, see what we can do to save you some hassle, save you some money, make the process easier. So all the above. You can be outside the state of Michigan too. I just have to do some things a little bit differently. All right, with all that out of the way, and my voice is starting to heal up from Friday, so let's go ahead and get us over to the first segment of the show, and as you know, that would be 5 headlines now. All right, 5 glorious headlines coming at you. I think we actually have a 6th, too, today. All right, Kirby Joseph not among finalists for Defensive Player of the Year. Story by Billy Rossetti of USA Today. Bit of a surprise here. I think we would all agree Kirby Joseph had a pretty good year. The fact that he's not one of the finalists, I thought was a little interesting to me just because, man, did you really look across the NFL and say there are 5 people that were clearly better than Kirby? Hey, to each their own, but I also get as a safety, sometimes you get overlooked when you lead the league in interceptions, and let's also, I hate saying it, but I will say part of the reason why I think he's not a finalist is just some of the backlash from last year. Before the season prior to this last one, the season the Lions won 2 playoff games, etc. You guys remember Matt Stafford and a couple other people said, hey, Kirby Joseph was dirty. I don't think we heard anybody mention that this year, but I do wonder if he's not a finalist because of some of that backlash. I don't know. But we're going to go on from that to the second headline, which makes it this current one even a bigger eyebrow raise. Former Illinois Kirby Joseph earns big honor for cap Detroit Lions season. SI.com. Story by Zane Blano with this one. And, you're going to say, what the heck is the honor? I mean, I get some of you guys already know, but if you don't know, yeah, I hit the button. All right, there we go. Kirby Joseph got NFC Defensive Player of the Year. And, hey, quite the honor for Kirby, quite the honor for the Detroit Lions, and probably most well-deserved. So how can you be the best in one conference and not be a finalist for the NFL Defensive Player of the Year? Are you saying there's just 5 guys that were in the AFC that were just way ahead of Kirby? I don't know about that, but it is what it is. What we can also say, and I didn't do a picture for it, and I probably should have, is that Jared Goff, in case you guys didn't see it yesterday, was listed as one of the finalists for the NFL MVP. My personal opinion, he's got no chance of winning it, and I don't mean that in a bad way about Jared Goff. I just think a lot of these awards are kind of hype train videos or promotional opportunities for the NFL and those respective players to be branded, marketed. I just don't see Jared Goff winning it because while his stats were real good, I do think the NFL has a vested interest in seeing Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or something like that win it because they're more marketable than Jared Goff. Jared Goff, phenomenal season. Yes, we're all aware that the last 2 games he played weren't his greatest by any stretch of the imagination, but it is what it is. I don't see him not being a Detroit Lion for the foreseeable future. Who knows, 5, 6, 10, 29 years from now, he's probably not going to be here, but I think for at least the next 2, he is going to be the Lions starting quarterback. Beyond there, we'll wait and see. A lot can change on a year-to-year basis in this league. All right, Dan Campbell hits home run with internal candidate replacing Aaron Glenn as defense coordinator. Story by Kingu Singh of Fanside with this one. I think we all agree that if you want just a continuity, you want to keep the players happy, you want to keep everybody feeling like the family vibe in Detroit is real, then you know what's yesterday's news, and I know we put out a video about it. Kelvin Shepard, in case you missed it, is going to be the defensive coordinator, and he was named that. The other thing, and I want to point out to Southwest Lion for getting this over to me, I don't know, like 10 hours ago after I went off air. I didn't see it, but at least according to Southwest, and I didn't have an opportunity to Scooby-Doo it this morning, but the Lions also promoted assistant linebacker coach Sean Dion Hamilton to linebackers coach, replacing Kelvin Shepard. So again, Southwest Lion 26, thank you for getting that over to me. I think it's a great move for the Detroit Lions. We talked about it in yesterday's video. The Lions have built a culture here that everybody else in the NFL, and you could argue in sports, are trying to replicate. I've even, most of you guys know I've coached professionally. I've coached in college. I currently coach in high school. Still talking to a lot of my college counterparts or friends, whatever you want to say. A lot of them are saying that you are seeing more and more teams because of the NIL using basically the Detroit Lions formula. They're trying to make things as family friendly. You feel like you're a part of a community. You're a part of a family and a structure here. And I think what the Lions are doing, it's resonating through free agency, through the draft. When people sign with the Detroit Lions, whether it's a coach or a player, if people get drafted by the Detroit Lions, they feel excited. They feel like, man, I hit the landing spot here. I am happy as can be because of everything Detroit has become for those guys. And I think what MCDC is doing is just simply continuing that into the coaching ranks, not just the player ranks. We all get the Lions like to re-sign their own players that have been drafted to the team, or undrafted free agents have been picked up. They take care of their own. And what they're doing now with Kelvin Shepard, we've been mentioning for a while that Aaron Glenn has probably felt like the last 2 seasons were real opportunities for him to move on and become a head coach. It finally happened this year. We all get it. But what he's done in that time is he has tried to prepare Shepard to replace him. That has happened. If the Lions didn't keep him, somebody else was going to take him. So I know there are some fans that are like, man, this isn't a great hire. Let's wait and see. Maybe it's just my personality type. I'm a positive Pete. I'm going to look at it and say, until he proves me wrong, I'm going to assume it's the right call out there. And again, giving some shout out and praise for the Lions, also replacing Kelvin Shepard with another in-house person, with Sean Dion Hamilton taking over now Kelvin Shepard's former role as the linebackers coach. So good job for both guys. And hey, wishing them nothing but the best, because obviously that's best for our team. All right, NFL deals. Commanders double blow hours before Eagles game as Jared Goff pays worst price. The Washington Post story by Joseph McBride with this one. In case you don't know what we're talking about, we've been waiting all week wondering if the NFL was going to fine anybody for that hit on Jared Goff. Well, what do you know? It finally did happen. Frankie Lulu has been fined twice in the same game, and I was not even aware of the second fine. We'll get to that. We all know about the hit to the helmet on Jared Goff. Did it impact him in the game? We can debate that the rest of the time, but it is what it is, because that hit, there's, even if you fine him, even if you flag him, you can't take the results of the hit away. Yes, we can also say if the NFL or the officials would have called that, then you know what? You take that touchdown off the board. Maybe the Lions defense holds them to a field goal or something like that. Maybe it changes the game. What I was not aware of, by the way, on the first hit, that hit on Goff, he got fined basically $34,000 for that one. What I was not aware of, and I did not know anything about this until I got ready for this morning show, there was another play later in the game where he'd hip checks, tackles Gibbs on a run. That run, if it would have been properly flagged, and he was fined another $17,000 for that one, would have gave the Lions on a critical third down. It would have gave them a first down. And again, refs are human as anybody. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to miss things. But those were two big plays that could have changed, at least potentially to some degree, the end result of that game between the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions. You're always going to be able to watch film and say this should have been called, that should have been called. So I get it. I'm not worried about it. We lost, move on. But hey, nice that the NFL a week later did finally fine him for those things. So he's going to be roughly $100,000 lighter in his wallet for those particular penalties. Speaking of penalties, Lions Jameson Williams slapped with a $25,325 fine for wild touchdown celebration versus Commanders. Clutch points, story by Lenzo Reyna with this one. And hey, I think we all get it. J-Mo likes to dance. He likes to celebrate touchdowns, especially big, long ones like he had on against the Commanders. I do think Jameson Williams showed a lot of development this year. And we're all aware he had some off-the-field stuff that could have been worse. Thankfully, it wasn't. I think he's going to be a big win for the Detroit Lions going forward. Yes, I do think the Lions are going to look to sign him to a contract extension. What we can say, at least about the ends of dance, is that, yes, he's going to have to pay the price for that one. So not going to spend a lot of time on this one. All right, some bonus headlines here. Lions' Zadarius Smith reflects on his intentions regarding his future for the upcoming NFL season. This is from The Heavy. I think we all get it a couple days ago. Zadarius Smith came on out and said, hey, I want to be a Detroit Lion. I like what's going on here. I love the family. I love the culture. Again, you're hearing everybody talk about it. If you're a Detroit Lion, you don't want to leave here. You don't want to go somewhere else. Longtime Lions fans are not used to this happening. I'd say if you've been a fan of the last 3 or 4 years, this is your norm for the Detroit Lions. And I do think whether or not Zadarius Smith is going to be the starting end opposite Aiden Hutchinson next year, I don't know. If nothing else, I think he's a real sound rotational piece. He is a piece of a puzzle. You always hear Bo Booth in the comment section say rotation, rotation, rotation. You watch teams like Philadelphia or other teams in the past in the NFL. Everybody needs more than just two ends. You want rotations. Guys are going to get hurt. You want to keep guys fresh. I think he does a lot of good things for this team. He's almost like having a coach on the field with the guys because, let's be honest, he's played at a high level for over a decade. He's played in the NFL for over a decade. I like him, and I think we're going to have a good time with him. I think he's going to stick around. I know there's been some talks that the Lions might cut him, just like there have been some talks about DJ Reader getting cut. I don't see either of those things happening. Been wrong before, but I think they're here to stay. All right, last the 5 headlines now. This is, even though it's more like 7 headlines today, Detroit Lions 2024 Rookie Report Card, story by Vito Scerrito of SI.com. Let's see what Vito has to say about things, but obviously there's not going to be a ton of grades because not many rookies even got on the field. So he gives Terrion Arnold, and I'll offer my grades too. It says Arnold encountered his fair share of struggles throughout his rookie campaign. For starters, he consistently looked lost in coverage and found himself a step or two behind opposing pass catchers. In 16 games, the number 24 overall pick amassed a passer rating of 99.2 and received a paltry coverage grade of 50.4 from Pro Football Focus. Plus, he failed to record a single interception and was penalized 10 times. So for that, he gives Arnold a C+. My personal opinion, and I'm going to grade him on a scale because he was a rookie. I thought once he got to about the halfway point of the season, he played pretty dang well. And I also tried to take into account with my grade that he is a rookie corner. Rookie corners rarely do well in this league. In fact, they usually get chewed up alive and then spit back out. The fact that you could notice when Arnold wasn't on the field for the Lions, a clear drop-off, I think that speaks to what he was becoming throughout the course of his rookie year. By the end, you saw most of the penalties go away. Say like the last 5-6 weeks of the NFL season for the Lions, you don't really, at least I don't recall that many penalties against him. He had cleaned some things up. So for that, I'm going to give him a B. I think for where you draft him, what you got out of him, what his projections are, and keeping in mind he's a rookie, I think he was pretty solid. I think he's going to be pretty dang good next year or by year 3. Every year he should get exponentially better. Is Rakestraw. Rakestraw failed to make much of an impact in 2024. He was inactive for week 2 and 3 and proceeded to miss weeks 12 through 18 with a nagging hamstring injury. The Missouri product also sat at the Lions' divisional round playoff loss to the Commanders. He was limited to just 141 total snaps and played much more in special teams, 95 snaps, than defense, 46. And similar to Arnold, he produced a subpar season in coverage. In 8 games, Rakestraw permitted a passer rating of 91.3 on balls thrown his way and earned an underwhelming coverage grade of 41 from Pro Football Focus for his efforts. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was a disappointing season for the second-round pick, grade D. Now, again, I always talk that other than quarterback, in my opinion, cornerback is the hardest spot to play or come in as a rookie and play in the NFL. My personal opinion, I just say incomplete with Rakestraw. I just don't think there's enough evidence one way or the other. The kid barely played at all, so can you really have a firm grasp on him? I mean, if you want to grade his special team efforts, fine, go for it. So I'm just going to say incomplete. I think he is much faster than most people knew. Yes, when he ran the 40-yard dash at the combine, he had the torn groin muscle, or at least severely pulled groin muscle. So how effective are you going to really be when you have that as a cornerback? I think his upside's there. I think it's probably going to take to year 3 to really realize most of his upside potential, because this year was kind of a push for him. I'm sure he learned some things. The coaches worked with him, but he was so limited with that hamstring injury. I think he's going to fall a little bit behind. Giovanni Manu, he does go on to say that, and I'm just going to kind of summarize here. He does say that's incomplete because we never seen him. I'm also going to say incomplete, but the fact that the Lions had him on the 53-man roster and always it was a game day decision, I think he's a lot further along than most of us. When he was drafted, everybody and the mother knew that, hey, this guy's going to be a project. It's going to take time for Hank Fraley to develop him and everybody else to develop him. I will not be surprised is the 6'7", 350, 360-pound guy, Giovanni Manu, is probably in the lineup to some degree next year. And that's going to be a massive win for the Lions because we all get it. The raw physical stuff with this kid is there. Yes, I'm going to give him an incomplete, but I'm going to say I think this guy's got real-world potential. If he went through this past season with the Detroit Lions and then entered the draft, I wouldn't be surprised if he was like a second or third round pick. Maybe, who knows, maybe even a late first round pick by some team looking for a development guy for like 6 weeks or so before getting him out there. Sion Vaki, not a ton of stuff there. We did see him a little bit more than probably most other rookies other than Terrion Arnold. He goes ahead and gives him a B-. And again, I'm going to try to speed through this a little bit so we don't fall too far behind. Vaki was on the active roster all but one of the Lions games last season. Utah product logged 6 carries for 14 yards and amassed 3 catches for 37 yards as a receiver. We're all probably going to be thankful we have him come next year. I think he's going to take over more punt and kick return duties. He does get a grade, I should say, of a B-. I'm actually going to give him a B+. I think Vito's analysis of him is that he's just multidimensional. He can catch, he can run, he can do punt and kick returns. So he adds a lot of value that way. I think his upside's still pretty strong. I liked what I saw out of the few pass catches and the kick returns, etc. I think he's probably going to this offseason. He's probably going to move into the number 3 running back spot. No disrespect to Craig Reynolds. I just think when you see Craig out there, you are starting to see signs of father time creeping in on him, like it does with all of us. I think Baki's going to take over. Mekhi Wingo, now this is one I strongly disagree with. He gives Wingo a D, and I understand why. He didn't have huge numbers, didn't have huge grades from PFF, but I also think this is where we look, sometimes reporters or even fans, we rely too much on Pro Football Focus and their grades. He gives them a D. My personal grade for Mekhi Wingo is a B minus. I think the kid was an absolute steal. And I think for what you asked him to do last year, the limited reps he got in there, yes, he got in there 11 games. Yes, he was a 6th-round pick, all that stuff. But for a 6th-round pick and what you got out of him, plus what you see on tape, his potential, he was real close to getting some sacks. He was real close to making some plays. I get close only counts in horseshoe and hand grenades. But I think you get this kid a little bit more seasoning, a little bit more development. We all talked about his potential when he was drafted. I think he could be a real diamond in the rough. So we'll see who ends up being right. Again, I'm going to go with a B minus. Next one, probably not much of a debate from anybody. Christian Mahogany, hey, the final pick of the Lions 2024 draft class, missed all of training camp. We get it. Kid had mono. I talked forever on this show. I was dang surprised when his 21-day evaluation window ended that they didn't IR him for the rest of the year. But I also pointed out on this show, to me, that's a real strong sign that the coaching staff saw something out and they were like, whoa, not so fast. We might have something here. And, hey, Vito goes and gives him a B. Again, I'm going to strongly disagree with that grade. Not that B is bad, but when I watch that kid out there, I say A. And then I put a plus and a plus and a plus and another plus behind him. This kid is a road grader. The fact that he was available in the 6th round is a total mystery to me. If you guys remember on draft day, I was saying, man, I don't get it. How the heck did this guy fall this far? Because there were some people saying he could be a late 1st rounder. It seemed like most of the pundits said 2nd to 3rd round grade on this guy. And I don't think you would have gotten any kickback from anybody if the Lions or another team would have taken him in the 2nd or 3rd round. He is a massive human being. He's got power. And you know what? The knock on him, if I remember correctly, coming out of college, is everybody agreed in the running game he was a monster. It was in the pass blocking, though, where I thought a lot of people said, man, his grade, you watch his footwork, you watch him swivel his hips, the lack of movement there, the lack of flexibility. It was a big worry that you were going to get a quarterback killed if he was having to block a lot of the time for him. So I get all that, but what is one of the strengths of this team? It's the coaching staff. And we all get Hank Fraley does a great job of things. You watch what he was his senior year in college. You watch what he was. He just used the Washington Commanders game out there. You could see the clear development he's had in pass blocking. And let's not forget, against the Commanders, he was the highest graded offensive player for the Lions. It's like a 92 point something. So that's an elite grade. He played in 3 games. All 3 of his games were elite. I, again, say it, nothing wrong with Vito's grade of a B, but mine, this dude is an A+++++. And unless something really unforeseen happens this offseason, he's going to be a starter next year. He is going to be one of your starting guards. And the fact you got him in the 6th round, and I'll say this right now, I won't be surprised if he's a top 15, top 10 guard in the NFL. I'm not going to waste anybody's time and say, man, he's going to be top 1 or 2 guards in the league. Could it happen? Absolutely. Based on the limited stuff we saw last year, he earned an 83 pass block grade from PFF as well. And again, don't put the world on that. I trust my eyes more than I trust grades. And I think the Lions, he's going to be a decade-long starter, or at least right around there for the Detroit Lions. So this year's draft, he might have been, if you do a redraft, he might have been like our 1st-round pick. He's that dang good. Arnold, I'm glad we got him. I think he's got upside. The rest of them, I think you got to wait and see. Giovanni Manu could be the total, coup de grace, the steal of the draft a year from now. But right now, if you had to redraft last year's draft for all NFL teams, there is 0 chance Christian Mahogany is a 6th-round pick. I think there's 0 chance he's not a day 1, a 1st round, or 2nd round pick. So Lions hit a home run there. Some scouting departments need to get some credit there, and probably somebody needs to get some free Mountain Dew from Brad Holmes. All right, you guys heard me ramble on about that one a little bit, probably too long. Let's go ahead and get over to the main topic of the day, if I can find the right button real quick. So just real quick, before we go on with the main topic of the day, what would your guys' grades be on those the rookies? I get most of you are just going to focus on a few of them, but Christian Mahogany, start there. What would be your grade for him? Let me know. Would it be an A, B, C, D, F, incomplete? Terrion Arnold, obviously leave a grade there. And A, if you want to put Rakestraw and then put a grade, or, Makai Wingo. And I think a lot of us forgot about him. Baki, you just go through them. Throw it in the comments section. Let me know your guys' grades. I'd be interested to see if we're all on the same page or if I'm just completely crazy with my thoughts on these guys. So, all right, main topic of the day, we're going to go through the free agency list. We got a list of the top 50 guys in free agency, and I'm going to list them off. And I just want you guys to say, yes, go for them, or no, pass, or, something to that extent. Put pass or whatever on them. So, all right, I think most of us are going to agree the number one free agent available this year is T. Higgins, wide receiver from the Bengals. My personal opinion, there's zero chance the Lions go for him. He's going to cost too much. We already got a number one and a number two wide receiver. Some have argued this past year, Jameson Williams, and I'm not saying I'm going there, but some have argued that Jameson Williams, if he was on a lot of other NFL teams, he would be the top wide receiver on that team. And I get why, the speed, the separation, etc. Higgins, I think we can all probably agree he's not going to be in our radar sights. With that being said, moving on to number two, Trey Smith, a guard from the Chiefs. He's only 25 years old. He is a pretty dang good guard. Got a real good combination of athleticism and power. Whether or not the Lions are going to invest money into someone like that, because he is going to be pricey, I'm going to say probably not. I think there's a more high likelihood that Christian Mahogany is your starter on one side. Kevin Zettler, you give him another month or two to rest, recover. Maybe he laces him up and says, hey, one more year. Let's go get that Super Bowl. If that does happen, by the way, I do think the Lions will have the best, hands down, offensive line in the NFL. All right, this one probably is a bigger one of interest to Lions fans. DJ Reed, the cornerback from the Jets. He is 28 years old. I think a lot of people are saying he had his best overall season this past season. He's the corner opposite Sauce Gardner. Do the Lions go out and try to sign him? He is the same age as Carlton Davis. Do you try to re-sign Davis if you're going to go get a free agent cornerback? Or do you say, nah, we're going to go for this guy? I'll leave that to you guys to debate. So here's probably the first one. Reader yes or reader no. Let me know in the comments section. There have been a lot of people talking about this other guy here. And Khalil Mack, the edge from the Chargers. We get it. He's played for the Bears. He's played for, it seems like 20 other teams. He is 33 years old. Is Zadarius Smith maybe on a rotation with Khalil Mack? I think you might have something there. Mack hasn't dropped off too much from his dominant defensive player of the year days. His production is still as an edge rusher, but he is mulling retirement, and I get it, man. His body's been a little beat up, especially it feels like these last 3 or 4 years. Would you want him if you're the Detroit Lions? That's a good question. My personal opinion is this draft is so deep at edge, I think the Lions are going to go with it. In fact, I'll probably have a mock out this week. I've already picked who I want them to get in the first round. Doesn't mean that person will be there, but I think there is an edge that is incredibly athletic. He's I think he's long, he's lanky, he's got some real speed too. Him opposite Hutch, if he's a little bit firmer in the run game, I think he could be a good fit, and I think there's a good chance he could slide down to number 28 or roughly right around there. But you'll have to wait for my mock draft later this week for that. So, Mac, do you want a yay, yes for Lions, or Mac, no for Lions? Charvarius Ward, same thing as DJ Reader. You know, he's 28 years old, 49ers cornerback. We all probably know about his daughter passing away this past year. So I'm sure mentally he could have been a little bit more infused in the game, but given the circumstances, I also understand, why maybe at times he wasn't fully invested in the game. That kind of tragedy hits any of us, and hey, we're still human, even, professional athletes. I give him some respect. So Ward, yes or no for the Lions? Josh Sweat, edge, he's from the Eagles. Eagles got some players up there, especially on the defensive side of the ball, that I think a lot of Lions fans would be interested in see come over here. Sweat has been a good supplemental pass rusher. Just came through with 8 sacks this year. Him opposite Hutch, again, with a rotation of maybe Zadarius Smith and a rookie at edge. That would give the Lions probably some pretty good depth there. Sweat, yes or Sweat, no. Sweat, by the way, is 27 years old. Speaking of Eagles, Zach Braun, linebacker, 28. So you're starting to see there's a big commonality with a lot of the guys' age. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Braun was the perfect fit for Vic Fangio's, defense for the Eagles. An elite coverage linebacker, also holds his own in upfield pursuing, run game setting the edge, and pass rush situational where needed. He could be someone of interest for sure. I think there's a couple linebackers in the top 50 that we could all say. So, hey, Braun, yes or no for the Lions? Let's see. Holland, safety from the Dolphins. He is 24 years old. I don't really think this will be an option for the Lions. You guys can have a different idea just because, again, you look at what we already have with Kirby Joseph. He's about ready to get paid. Brian Branch is probably a season or so away from getting paid. The big question, I think, for most Lions fans this offseason will be, do you resign Ife Melifonwu or not? If you're not going to resign him, and me personally, I like the kid to death. I think he's very talented. I think he's also not available nearly enough for me. I would probably move on from him. Holland is 24 years old. He plays good in coverage. He can play man. He can play great in run support. So I could see wanting to go after him. Chris Godwin, also from the Buccaneers. This guy is from the Buccaneers. I don't see him coming to the Detroit Lions, although with his injury, maybe it would be a little bit cheaper. Again, do you want to invest more in the offense? I mean, you got a ton of weapons already. I would not be disappointed if they just re-signed Tim Patrick, but you guys let me know. Godwin, yes or no? Let's see. Stefan Diggs from the Texans. Man, is he 31 years old now? He'd be a heck of a weapon in Detroit. Again, I don't see that happening just because of all the costs of the offense. But, hey, if you guys want Stefan Diggs to be a Lion, go ahead and let me know. Will Fries, guard from the Colts, 26 years old. Again, I think we're going to stay with what we have already. And good thing that we've got Christian Mahogany and his fairly inexpensive contract out there. But I don't see that happening. Kevin Zeitler, guard for Lions. We've already talked about him. I know he's mulling it over. He is 34 years old. For some reason, I thought he was 32, but hey, been wrong before, right? I do think they'll try to keep him, and I do think in time he'll agree to it. He's athletic still at his age. He's whether or not he's one of the best guys in the league. I think personally he's a top 3 guard. Let me know your thoughts. Ronnie Staley, offensive tackle for the Ravens, 30. I don't believe that we're at the point yet where we're going to replace Taylor Decker, but maybe in another season I could see that happening. And I do think Giovanni Manu's maturation probably falls in line with that at some point. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on him just because I don't think offensive tackle is really going to be an option. Carlton Davis, the next person up, cornerback from the Lions. I thought he had a real good season. He was the only thing I would say is I thought there were times he gave up the edge in the run game too much. Although as the season kind of marched on, I thought you saw that less and less. I actually thought Amik Robinson was better in that regard. Amik Robinson is a little undersized. We'll see what the Lions look to do. Robinson also has one more year left on his contract that he signed with Lions. But Carlton Davis, re-sign him? Yes or no? Let me know. Dre Greenlaw from the 49ers, 27 years old. Hey, man, this guy plays at a high level. He's got a devastating motor. Yes, he also had a big Achilles injury in Super Bowl 58. We'll see what happens. I don't think he's as good as he once was in coverage. Maybe that's because of the Achilles recovery, but we'll see what shakes out. Sam Darnold, not an option for Detroit. Moving on from him. Amari Cooper, age 30. Could you get someone like him to come into the Lions and be a part of this offense? That, I think there could be some potential there. He's still great at running routes. He doesn't have the speed he once did. Not that he was ever a burner, but he had some good wheels. Could you get him? Possibly. Would you want him here? I'll leave that to you guys to debate. Speaking of the next guy, DeAndre Hopkins with the Chiefs. He's 31. I'd be torn on him, but he's lost some speed. He's lost some ability, like we all do as we get older. If Tim Patrick doesn't re-sign here, I could see someone like a Cooper or a Hopkins coming in here. Although I would say this, I would not pay based on their past performances. Basically, I'm not paying for their names. You got to get them at the value which they currently live in, not in the prior. Drew Dahlman, center from the Falcons. He's 26 years old, so he's about 2 years younger than Ragnow, if I'm not mistaken. He's one of the best athletic centers in the league, and he's a devastating run blocker. Could he be of interest? Yes, but I don't think you're getting him to come here unless you're going to move him to guard. That's just my opinion. Cam Robinson, offensive tackle from the Vikings, moving on, just because I don't think we're going to really go after any tackles. Aaron Jones, running back, number 21. No, I don't think we're bringing in a running back, at least not someone like that we're going to pay. Let's see, Baron Browning, edge from the Cardinals, 25. I mean, he would not be a bad value, I think. He was a rising Denver Bronco, went to the Cardinals, solid pass rusher. My worries with him is like some of the edges we've had in the past. I think the way MCDC views the defensive line, he wants to make sure he stops the run first and then get to the cornerback. I don't think he can do that, so I don't think he's an option there. Malcolm Kuhn, edge from the Raiders. He was injured prior to having his injuries season. He did have 8 sacks in 2023. Hate saying it, but he does sound like a Brad Holmes type of signing. Somebody coming off an injury, you're trying to get good value. Dollar General Brad, we all get it. He loves good value. Hassan Reddick, there was talk about us trying to get him this past year, making a trade. Yes, we did a video on it when it happened. My thing is, he's 30. I think you can get him a little bit cheaper, but he is very one-dimensional. He's getting to the quarterback. He's not doing much for the run. With all that being said, remember this right before the trade deadline, I did some videos about the Lions and Brad Holmes engaging in conversations with the Raiders to try to get Max Crosby. I remember I took some flack for it, just like I did the year before when I said the Lions had some conversations with the Washington Commanders about Sweat and I can't remember the other guy, but I know it was mostly about Montez Sweat. You know what? Hey, Brad Holmes came out this week and admitted the Lions did have conversations with the Raiders about Max Crosby. So, I get sometimes as a reporter, you take flack, and I try to tell everybody, wait for about 3 or 4 months. People become a little bit more open about talking about it when they're not in the moment. The Lions did confirm this week that, yes, they did talk to the Raiders about Max Crosby. So, all right, Bobby Wagner, linebacker Commanders. He's age $1 million. He's actually 34. I don't see this being an option for him. I think linebacker, they want to get a little bit younger and more athletic. Eric Jackson, or offensive tackle from the Rams. Again, just because he's a tackle, I don't see this one happening. We're not going that direction. James Daniels, guard from the Steelers, 27. Again, I think we're staying in-house now. Kevin Zeitler doesn't sign, then maybe do look to go elsewhere unless you're going to draft another rookie guard, or maybe they've got some other plans to move somebody to guard. We'll have to wait and see. But Daniels from the Steelers, yes, Lion, no Lions. Nick Bolton, and no, not the singer, by the way. Linebacker from the Chiefs. This is one I would say yes. If you can get him, I'd go for him. Bolton is he's a big part of their defense. I like his sideline to sideline movements. I don't think he had his best year this current year. He's 24, though. I think he would fit in very well with the plans for what we seem to like to do. But if you guys want him, say yes, Lions, or no Lions. Let's see, Becton, guard, Eagles, 25. Again, we kind of covered this topic with the guard, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. If you want Becton from the Eagles to come on over, Eagles got some free agents you're noticing here. Go ahead and say yes, Lions, no Lions. Tyron Smith, offensive tackle from the Jets. He is 34 years old. Again, not going to spend time on this one just because I don't think it's really an option. Justin Fields, quarterback, Steelers. I know there were some people in the comment section yesterday saying, yes, go for it. Go get him. Would like to have him be the backup. I'll leave that to you guys to decide. Justin Fields, yes, a Lion, no, a Lion. Let me know. Let's see. Hollywood Brown, wide receiver, Chiefs, 27 years old. This one I'm torn on just because I think he's got some real potential. I like the guy. I think you put his speed out there with this offense. Man, could you imagine him one side, Jameson Williams, St. Brown, Laporta, Gibbs? That would be tough to cover, especially if that offensive line is going to be as good as I think it's going to be. It'd be tough to play zone coverage against us because I think it would get shredded. But let me know. Do you want Hollywood Brown, who is 27 years old, to be a Lion or not? Yeah, in the comment section. Odeo Edge, Colts, 25 years old. Let's see. He's shown flashes against the run. He's shown flashes against the passes. He's okay dropping back into coverage. He can develop much more into a lot of different things. I think he's decent at a lot of stuff. He's just not great in anything, and that would be my big problem with us getting him. So what do you do with him? I'll leave that to your discretions. Let me know in the comment section. Byron Murphy Jr., a cornerback from the Vikings. My problem with him is Lions clearly want to play a lot of man coverage. I don't think Murphy Jr. plays man coverage particularly well. I don't think he's an option. You guys can have your own thoughts, though. Here's one. You want to throw something at the Chicago Bears and Ben Johnson. Keenan Allen, 32 years old. Do you want him to maybe replace Tim Patrick? I won't lie. He can still shake and bake. He can get open in short, intermediate routes. Do you want him to be that guy that's number 3 receiver for us? Me, myself, and I wouldn't hate it. It just comes down to what you're going to pay him. I do think he's going to cost a little bit still because while he was injured a lot this year, I think he still can produce. I just probably wouldn't go for him, but we'll see what shakes out. Edge from the Giants, Ogoria, by killing that name probably. Prolific pass rusher, but offered little else. He's not great in the run game. He can't drop into coverage, but he's 24 years old and gets to the quarterback, so there are worse scenarios, right? Jonathan Johnson, tight end from the Saints. I'm going to probably go with a Nozo here, but if you guys think Johnson from the Saints, the tight end, should come here, he's 28 years old. Comment section time. All right, Justin Reed, safety from the Chiefs. Again, kind of with the other safeties, and just like everything we're going to talk about, we've already covered all the positions at this point. Do you think we should try to replace Ife Melifanu with Justin Reed? Let me know. Telvin Jenkins, guards from the Bears. You know what? I don't think anybody for the Bears should really be offered a big contract on their offensive line, but he is a pretty decent run blocker, not much of a pass blocker. I would say no, but hey, you guys have your thoughts, let me know. Let's see, Molden, safety from the Chargers. Yes, we've only got 8 more to go, by the way. Again, if you're going to re-sign Ife Melifanu, I'd probably go that direction. Rashad Douglas, cornerback from the Bills, 29 years old. Do you like him or not? He does play some pretty good man coverage. I think he's almost like getting another Amik Robertson. I think you're just going to keep with what you got here. Plus, we do have Rakestraw to develop. He is 29 years old. I guess it just depends. Do you believe in Rakestraw or not? Let's see. Darius Slayton, wide receiver from the Giants, 28 years old. Plugging in away as an undrafted downfield threat. While for New York, he can get downfield like we talked about with Hollywood Brown, etc. Elsewhere, he's probably a good number 2 receiver. Here, he'd clearly be the number 3. What do you think about Darius Slayton? I wouldn't be mad if it happens. I know a few of you guys have brought this next one up, and then I'm probably, instead of doing 50, you'll probably just cut out good at 45 different guys talked about. DeMarcus Lawrence, edge from the Cowboys. He has some diminishing returns last year. Wasn't what he has been. You can blame a lot of different things for it, but as far as a rotational guy, would you want to bring him in? I'll leave that to you guys. But DeMarcus Lawrence, yes, a Lion, no, a Lion, etc. The rest of this stuff I think we've kind of already gone through. Levi Onwuzurike, he's 26 years old. I thought he played pretty well this year. I just want to give him a massive contract, but having him out there along with DJ Reader, along with Aleem McNeil, when McNeil returns, I wouldn't be mad about it. So let me know. Probably went on with this segment way too long, but let's get over to the Duke Crew and see what you guys have to say. I'll try to power through them as best I can since we only got like 20 minutes to go, but I'll go through and try to right off the bat, instead of reading every comment, I'll look for, try to space them out as best I can here. All right, JDC, good morning. All back at you. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Freedom. Woo! All right, JDC, hallelujah special in aisle 4, maybe. Let's see, Jason, let's go on a shopping spree. That's the big question of the day. Who you buying, who you selling? Defensive ends in aisle 4. Y'all go with that. Special, buy Max Crosby, get a healthy Aiden Hutchinson for free. Woo! I'll take that. Jessica, I'd be okay with us replaying last week's game. Can only improve. I would concur with that. Burger time. Good morning, Coach. Well, it's time to go shopping. Please, no Dollar General this year. Laughing out loud. Go Lions. Unfortunately, I think that's probably where we're going with things. Trey, what up, Duke Crew? Question mark. I think we could try for Ward or Reed. Put them out there with TA or AR. Our secondary would be rocking. Yeah, it would be a pretty good secondary. It could be totally. Darcy, good morning, Duke gang. Malcolm Kuntz would be a good get, and he's coming off injury, so Brad is all about that. I would agree. Yes, Brad's probably not changing his formula at this point. 9 drinks. I think I can finally watch some football games today. It's hard to get into it, though. Yeah, our guys aren't playing. It's going to be less emotional investment for sure. Jess, greetings, sanitation. Shepard is going to be just fine as our new DC. That's what I'm choosing to believe, too, man. I think he's going to do a good job. I think he's been prepped for the moment. Don, Milton Williams, Philly's defensive tackle in free agency would be such a steal. We'll see if we go for it. And again, with the lead being out for a while, I wouldn't be surprised if they do look to add someone on there. Burger time. I agree 9 drinks would be a tough week. Okay, France, I'm thinking we all missed the lines. The nice part was we had a great season and we can see where the team is heading. I agree with it. I see, the projection or the trend is up and away. Now can we stay healthy and continue to add on? That's the big thing. I think we got $60 million in cap. We got some good draft picks. I think 7 draft picks. You can really add to the depth of this team and keep this thing churning. Good morning, Duke Crew. One pride. Brad Holmes is going to be like a kid in the candy store. Oh, yeah. I'll go with that. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. It would be tough not to see our team playing today. Yeah, it will be tough not to see the team playing today. Could have been a magical day. Yes, it could have been indeed. Susan, Don Burr, I like him. Philly has a few free agents I wouldn't mind. Yeah, me too. Don, DeMarcus Lawrence, Milton Williams would be really nice free agents. Yeah, I don't think they would overly cost you either, just given their ages, etc. JC, nothing compares to 0-16 season as Lions fan. I can lose graciously now. There you go. I'm down with that. 5 fingers. Don, it's crazy how much the price tag tends to go down from 25, 28. Yeah, those 3 years are really huge, unfortunately, for most athletes. So I think you're spot on with that. Pat, good morning, all. Back at you. 5 fingers, explain. I'm a little confused there. All right, we'll find out. Don, 9 drinks. If and only if he takes a team-friendly deal, will we see him in Honolulu Blue? I agree with that. And just unfortunately, he's injured so often. Are you going to overpay to keep him? Quentin, greetings, salutations. We're going to get a new OC today. I'm thinking yes. We'll find out. And I wouldn't be surprised the next 2 days if that's announced. Michael, greetings, salutations, Coach and Crew. One pride. Go back at you, my friend Michael. Good day to you. David, anyone think we could add Reddick? He's kind of a one-use guy, but he can get to the QB. It almost be like signing an upgraded version of James Houston. Phil, good morning. Back at you, Philly. Voltron, I say Nick Bolton, add him with AA and Captain Jack. Yeah, that would not be a bad linebacker core. Burns, $12 million for the draft, $15 million for next year trade deadline. That leaves us roughly $32 million. That's really not that much. Max would eat that up. Yes, if we were to go for Mad Max. Correct. So, good morning, Duke Crew. Hear me out. Add Hollywood Brown to the offense. Him, J-Mo, St. Brown, Laporta, Gibbs. That's hella speed. It would be, man. It would be. I got to imagine if you're offensive coordinator, you're probably enjoying that scenario. Burger time. Guy can't stay healthy, so I'd agree needs to be a team-friendly deal. Kind of prove it deal. Correct. With Iffy? Yes, I agree. Robert, greetings and salutations. Daniel and crew, same to you, my friend. Let's see. Molly for Lions Talk Live mascot. I'm down with that, Robert. I'm down with that. And again, trying to speed through these and get people, try to mix up the comments a little bit. Drew, good morning. Coach Dan and the famous Duke Crew. Exclamation point. I'm starting to believe that this offseason may just very well play out like Brad Holmes go left inside and candy store with no one that was there. Yeah, I think he's going to have some fun with it. Let's see what he does. Southwest, simple addition for us, and we good. I'm down with that. Any more? Good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. What a day. What a podcast. Thank you for that. What a great time to be a Lions fan. Go Dan, go Dan, go Dan. Woo! Thank you for all the above, my friend. Avery T, I love Goff, but if he doesn't get it done this upcoming season, I'm done with him and Hooker to the front. Okay, let's see what they do. Let's see. Trina, good morning to the Lions team and family. Good morning, everyone. You are doing an amazing job keeping us in the loop. Woo! Everyone has a great and safe day, blessed day. Hey, same to you, Trina, and have a great day in Kalamazoo, my friend. Okay, if they keep Iffy, would have to do a very team-friendly deal. I agree with that. 100%, 1,000%, 100,000%. Derek, good morning, Coach and Crew. I think KJ just got snubbed by the NFL, and he will play with a chip on his shoulder next year. Yeah, how could you win the NFC Defensive Player of the Year and not at least be considered a finalist for the NFL Defensive Player of the Year? Let's see, Anthony, DJ Reader, okay. Bo, the serious nature of the sports media on full display. Kirby, Defensive Player of the Year, but not Pro Bowl figures. Yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with that indeed. See, Alan, Dan for the new Lions OC. Woo! I'd take it, man. Although, man, you talk about taking risks. We would take a lot of risks. Big D, sup, crew? How you doing, D? Hopefully, good day. Salvas, who gives a blank? You flag him on the touchdown, don't count. Who cares? They find him now. Yeah, agreed. You threw him some fines. He's a little lighter in the wallet. That's about it, though. King of Lions, I think it's a great hire, exclamation point. He's a big voice for the defense. He knows the players. He knows the game. And if you ask him, being the DC means we draft another linebacker, which we need. Yes, I'll go with all that. Bo Booth, clutch points. There you go. Bird time. I like Sedaris. He's a nice piece. He is a good piece. I think he'll be good to keep here another year. Tears, no fears. Excuse me. Happy Sunday, Duke Crew family. Exclamation point. A few key free agents. The draft would be great. Lightning and Thundercats. Ho! Yeah, I think with all the players we currently have, now you add a few free agents and the draft, this team could be crazy deep next year. B for TA, I'll take that. Yeah, I think we're about on the same page. Anyway, I'd say get rid of the sick, lame, and lazy. They can't produce for the team. Flush them, sign everyone else. I'm down with that. Sunborn, they need corner help so bad. I think they'll go after somebody for sure. Big D, Manu, and Mahogany are amazing picks. They're both starters next year. Mark my words. I'm marking it, my friend, and I do think Mahogany will be. We'll find out on Manu. JDC, I know it's Lions Talk Live gets an A+. Thank you for that. Daniel, what do you think going to happen with Scotty Montgomery? I think he'll be our new OC. I think it's probably going to be either him or Tanner. I think one of those two gets it, and then we'll see what happens to the other. Bo Wingo is going to be good. I think so too. 100% there. Bo, Mahogany Rush for is the future. I'm down with that. All right, I got to remember to skip through and get people who haven't been on since we're fighting the clock a little bit here. Kim, media has no patience for development. Take it with a grain of salt. Brad Holmes and MCDC are putting building blocks in place. I concur with you right there. Higgins pass. Yeah, I think most are going to pass on those. So good call, you two. Pierce, Arnold C, Rakestraw incomplete, Vaki C, Manu incomplete, Wingo B+, Mahogany A. Yeah, I'm down with all that. I think that's about spot on. Burns, my dad wanted the Lions to pick Mahogany in the third. Couldn't believe we got him where we did. Yeah, me either, man. Huge move there. King, Trey Smith pass. Okay. Coach, Rocky. Coach Rocky, I should say. Good morning. All Mahogany would get an A from me. Wait until next year. This man and Rakestraw will be healthy and working out the offseason will prove they're worth it. I agree with all that. Yeah, Big D, Mahogany A, Rakestraw C, Arnold A, Wingo B, Manu A. All right. I like the way you're thinking. Let's see. King of Lions. If we don't bring CD3 back, bring in Reed. Okay. Non-laughers. Why? Mac pass. Bo, Reader, Y. Kim, pass. Mac on Mac. Lions, Burger Time, pass on Mac. Mac, pass on Mac. See, Southwest, clock starts ticking on T. Arnold this upcoming season for real. Okay. Big D, Reader, Y. Southwest, you are correct. All right, Big D says you are correct. Sawyer says Christopher. Non-laughers, maybe. Only need one cornerback. All right. Jason, pass on Mac. No cheese. There you go. Badman, bringing Justin Fields for our backup. That was one of the options for sure. Burger Time, Sawyer, yes. Kim, Ward, no. King, Sweat, pass. Sawyer, no. Badman says. Tug Speedman, Mac is a big yes. Would make a great rotational piece. Could be just that. Big D, I like the Fields idea. Non-lever Sawyer, why? Bo, I can't imagine what Sawyer went through. Big D as a backup. 9 drinks, absolutely. Pierce, Holland pass. All right. Cut iffy. He won't have to cut him. His contract's done. So yes, but I get what you're saying. Big D, Braun, yes, he's a beast if he plays for Wisconsin. There you go. Let's see. Non-levers. What about Strickland? Strickland got signed in the offseason or just once the season ended. So what are we go to a new deal with the Lions, but it's a restricted free agent deal. Big D, yes, a few skip picks on Iffy. All right. Southwest, all that PI's third and fourth times a game got to the end. His clock started ticking. Now it's giving him a pass. You had the worst rookie cornerback season of all time. Wasn't the only rookie playing. Now, I would say this, man. I've seen a whole lot worse rookie seasons in my years of coverage than Terry Arnold. So I think he's going to be pretty decent. Non-Lavers for the third safety. Could be. Pierce, get a safety in the draft. Maybe they do. Bo Booth, if the price is right, they fit the grit, then bring them back in. Okay, Tuxpian, Holland in, Iffy out. King of Lions, Goodwin pass, man bang, no Diggs. All right, no to Goodwin, Diggs pass, Jason Iffy. If he's healthy, if he isn't, no go. Yes, and that's the big question with Iffy if he's healthy. Pierce, Holland is gonna command top dollar, can't afford him. I agree with that. Agreed. JK, and in the end, it doesn't matter. Okay, Burger Time, no Diggs or good one. Big D, Southwest, that's a little too far. He had a good season for a rookie. I'll go with that. Yes, agreed. No to Diggs, says T. Domes. Let's see, bad man, if he passed. Non-laughers, no on Diggs, not a cultural fit. I would agree with that. I would agree with that big time. Big D, Diggs as a slot. Yeah, you would have to agree that, and the coaching staff would have to concur that there's not going to be a conflict if you're not getting the ball all the time, etc. Burger Time, liked Iffy, just not valuable enough to pass on him. Okay, yeah, I'll go with that. Yes on CD3. Big D, you're right. He's a locker room issue. All right, cut Carlton Davis. Yes, his contract is up. Burger Time, I'd bring back CD3. Kim, CD3, yes, if the price is right. Concurred. Keep Amik and no Davis. All right, Big D. King of Lions, Amik extended ASAP. He does have one more year left. If I'm not mistaken. Tugs try and keep Davis. Great veteran presence. I'd be okay with that. Bo agreed. Kim. King of Lions, Cooper pass. Burger Time, Amik is already locked up. Yeah, one more year. I believe that's right. Non-laughers, like you said, Dan, CD3 in iffy spot. Push Amik outside. Yeah, I'd really like that. I think your coverage abilities there with everybody in that secondary, man, that would be a dream scenario. Plus, I mean, CD3, I thought did a pretty good job in the run defense. I thought he messed up some time setting the corner, but as a safety, man, maybe it's not as exposed. JK, I bet we have all starters injured. We can still win. I'm down with that. Big D, Slack Cooper, King of Lions, Hopkins pass. Thomas, I have zero concern on our hires. Brad and Dan got this. Exclamation point. Solidify the D. I think we're on it. Bad man, keep Timmy. I would be okay with Timmy coming back too. JK and no coaches in Vegas. All right. T-Bone Lowe, Charles Davis is a yes for the right price. I agreed with that. Cut Hooker, sign Justin Fields, says Badman. King of Lions, bring the center in. Frank the Tank has been beaten up. Always shows up, but we can't keep relying on that. All right. Thomas. Carlton is almost a must-stay in my book. Without him, absolutely lose in Houston. Yeah, he made some plays in that game, didn't he? Byron, good morning, Dan. Duke Crew. I wouldn't be mad if the Lions draft an edge rusher from Ohio with the 28th pick. Hey, I'll dive into that this week, and you guys will all have your says. We'll do one mock draft where I just make my picks. We'll do another one, an interactive one, Brian, where everybody in the comment section say yes on this guy, no on that guy, or make a trade, etc. Make it as fun as possible for everybody. JP Ward, yes, best man on man covered corner. Okay. D13. So if he is reporting Brad is going shopping this offseason, Brad must not be signing one single free agency outside of his own because everything he has reported this entire season has been completely wrong. Well, D13, remember where you came after me about the news about the Lions talking about Max Crosby? And you know what? Talk about timing. Brad Holmes confirmed they talked to the Raiders about Max Crosby. So you point out him being wrong. I guess you're going to have to point out I was right on that then. All right, Thomas, build to the draft. I think they probably will, man. I think they will. It doesn't mean they won't add some free agents. Mr. Fulton, Dan, today is our basketball tournament game. We are in the Hamilton County Chargers, and we're playing against Devils at 2:30 at Washburn College, and we will be playing again at 4:30 p.m. Hey, have fun out there, man, and have a great time. Hopefully it goes well. The Central Scrutinizer, morning, yes, re-sign the ones who've helped us, but don't overpay them. I like Awaria, okay? Either he's making stuff up or his sources is running out. Well, that's what you said, like you said, I just pointed out a minute ago. You came at me hard on several different videos about saying I was full of it about the Max Crosby stuff. Let me know when you're going to offer your new thoughts now that Brad Holmes came out and said, yes, we had conversations with the Raiders. So you're going to come at me. You also got to praise me when I'm ended up proven right. That's the human thing to do, right? All right, Badman, cut CD3. He can't stay healthy. Won't have to cut him. His contract's up. Thomas, Bad M, totally disagree. JK, we can get nobody in the draft and still win a puppy bowl. I'll go with that. Southwest, he played all year. Okay. JK, bet. Reddick, pass, says Pierce. Badman, so times did CD3 get hurt this season? Too many times. I want to say twice. Correct. Big D. D13, yep, I'll go with that. Dan and the man brought, thank you for that. Yes, absolutely on Bolton. All right, Bolton, yes. No on Fields. King Alliance CD3 got hurt twice. broken thumb and broken jaw, but his fault was actually by our players. You know, you're right. He did get taken out like a few guys by friendly fire. Central Iowa CD3 has passed in his experience on. Just don't overpay him. Yeah, I think that'll be the big thing with anybody we resign. Don't overpay. All right, a couple more here. See, Derek, no on Fields. The man can't throw a fit. Okay. JK, Journey, man, Justin Fields wouldn't matter either. All right. T-Bone, no on Brown. Derek L, great line. I'll go with that. Shaw, Fields could be great scout team quarterback. Help us with running quarterbacks. Ooh, that's a thought. Pierce, Keenan Allen, yes, out of spite. All right. Yes on Allen. Fields, only if Hooker is gone. Okay. Skip, Pierce, skip, Ben Johnson. Don't think Allen is a good fit in locker room wise. Yeah, that I don't know. I don't know that much about his personality. Let's see, Donner re-signed Tim Patrick for under $4 million. Let's see if they can do that. Central screwed on Campbell, guilty by association. Could be just that. Could be. Byron, could you imagine having Justin Fields on this team, a mobile quarterback with two deadly running backs, fast JMO? That would be hard to cover. You know, something like that would be probably, I think, for a lot of people, a dream scenario. Whether or not, you know, they go for him or he's a good fit here, that I don't know. I haven't done that much looking at him. Bo Allen, let him compete on veteran minimum. Can displace Patrick. Yeah, okay. Okay. Let's see. Tugs, yes to Giants edge rusher. We need pressure. We do need Justin. We do need generate some pass rush. Shot. No, we keep Hooker and get Fields. Hold from the practice squad. Okay. Same outcome. We'll go with that. Let's see, Jason. James Pierce, edge rusher from Tennessee with our number 28. You're not far off from what I'm thinking, but you know, I'll get to that during the mock. Philippines, I'm sorry, just can't get past Sneaky Snake. He had his head and heart were not into Detroit this year. His press conference says we all need to know. Benedict. You know, and the one thing I'll say is one of you guys sent it over to me. Sorry, I don't remember off the top of my head. You watch his introduction press conference and mirror it to one of, it wasn't MCDC's introductory press conference, but it's almost like he copied word for word a press conference Dan Campbell gave, everything. So I thought it was hilarious. Pierce, Lawrence, Hex, yes, he's a dog. I'll go with that. Tugs, okay, keep Reader and sign Vita Vega. Man, wouldn't that be something? Thomas, as far as defense, of line, re-sign our players and draft an edge. Philippines, I say trade Hooker and draft cornerback Jackson Dart, Old Miss, awesome kid. Maybe they'll do that. Tugs, now that we know, stop running defensive tackles. Now that's a run-stopping defensive tackle. Correct. JK, nothing helps. Team, Pierce, I'm fine with the Dollar General aspect this offseason. What I'm mad about is something I've called him. Training table Brad, stop with the injured players. Unfortunately, that's where I think he just feels good there. I'm guessing the lone voice bringing back Devin Warbeck. You might be the lone voice. We'll see if they do. Pierce, T-Bone would be alone on that. Okay. Signed, Lawrence Badman. JK, getting rid of Advanced Auto. It's and Part City also. Okay. Break time. See everyone Saturday. Hope everyone has a great week. Stay warm. And, of course, go Lions. I like it. And have a great week, my friend. Pierce, see, Philippines on demand. So far, I love the coaching hires on the defensive side of the ball. What's the hold up with the OC? Maybe they're just the candidates are that close to the difference between one and the other. That's the only thing I can think of. JDC, happy trails, go Lions victory. We'll see you soon. Bad man. Sign Levante David. Ooh, that's an idea. Bo Booth, happy trails, Duke Crew. See you next time. Philippines, Shepard, coupled with experience of Rodgers would not be an issue. They would be great. I think they're going to be great. Pierce, let's see, Philippines probably working on money. All right. Todd, what do you got? Doesn't Goff's contract include a no trade clause? I believe it does. Todd, I believe so. Yes, I believe you're both correct. Ed, let's see, good morning, Dooku. Who do you like for quarterbacks coach? Bridgewater? Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, I wonder what they're going to do there. You know, I guess we'll find out. We'll probably know a lot of things this week. JK, Rip, Coles, and Macy's, and Big Lots. Yeah, they're all gone, basically. Okay. Byron, I just heard on another podcast the Lions might cut Za'Darius. I don't think they're going to, but I know some people have speculated about it. I guess, you know, we'll deal with that, Byron, once it happens, if it happens. Pierce, is Mark Brunell gone? There's conflicting reports. There's some suggesting he is, but I haven't found anything confirmed yet. If somebody has, let me know. Philippines, the problems with Benedict, he always has to prove he's the smartest guy in the room. His arrogance will be his downfall, just like Patricia. You could be right. There could be a correlation there. Rocky, push the like button. Yes, if you guys can, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Phil's got a new thumbnail, I see, by the way. Put some hot sauce on this team. Make him spicy. I'll be putting hot sauce on a lot of food today. Dr. Detroit, keep most of what we had and add Crosby and draft O-line. Okay? Pierce, Philippines, how funny would it be if Benedict comes out on a four-wheeler? We'll find out. Please try to eliminate the colorful language. Thank you. I'm on it. I do what I can. Let's see. Pierce, maybe the Duke Crew crowd funds one for him, Philippines. Maybe. Hair of Destiny looking good today. I tried to actually throw some water on it today to get it ready for the show, Phil. Four-wheeler, indeed. Joe's, long live the Lions. I like the way you're thinking, my friend. Good to see you as always this morning. Tugs, when your mock draft coming this week, hit that like button, go Lions. Woo! Yeah, I'll do one that I make the selections first, and then we'll do a Duke Crew interactive one for sure. Badman, Kirby, CD3, safety position, Arnold and Branch, cornerbacks, keeping Meek at nickel. All right, I like that. As long as you can keep them all, I'd be happy with that. All right, Philippines, we need to focus on building a locker room defense. That's going to be the difference between winning and losing. Okay, Phil, are we playing too violent and hurting our own players? I think some of it's just bad luck, but yes, we had a lot of friendly fire injuries. Pete, this is all good. Great regular season. I just hope that Goff doesn't choke again in the playoffs. That'll be the big thing. If he has another bad game in the playoffs, unfortunately, I think that would be probably not good for the Lions nor of Goff. All right, Mark Lewis, do we ever know how dead of a quarterback Hooker is? We'll find out this season. Mark, how good of a quarterback Hooker is? Are we even sure? Do we know? I do not know, but we're going to find out this upcoming season. Phil, greetings to Bobby. I will pass that on to her for sure, my friend. Dr. Detroit, Crosby and Davis is who I'm hot for. We'll see if we can get them. Have a blessed day, Duke Crew. We'll see you, Henry. Pierce, Dr. Detroit, I'd love Levante David. Me too. Let's see, Daniel, Dollar General Brad, 100%. He's always working. Dr. Detroit, 5 and dime Brad. Okay, I'll go with that. F says Ed. Okay. Pierce, I'm sticking with training table Brad because most free agents must see the trainers when they get here. I'll go with that. Amika's keeper, I think so too. 100% there. Ed, happy trails. We'll see you next time. Phil, thanks for the overtime, Coach. Woo! Anytime, my friend. Coach Rock, last I knew Hooker can run the ball and is a good-sized quarterback. He's a massive human being for a quarterback. Hooker is also old. He is a little bit old, but, quarterbacks, heck, man, you got more and more of them playing into the late 30s, even 40s. All right, Troy, why does no one mention Goff played that game with a concussion? This is true. We're also going to find that out. He got smoked early. He did for a third-year guy. Yes, correct. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. If you can, before checking out, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I would be most welcome. Other than that, take care. Have a great day. If there's breaking news later today, of course, I'll get it over to you. Hope to see you guys all in the next Lions Talk Live. Do something kind for someone you don't know. And just, be a good human being. See you soon, guys. You're still here? What are you doing here? It's over. The show's over. Go home.